welcome to Wildcraft Cottage. If you're new here, my name's Emily, and here at the cottage I share all things hearth and home, whole foods cooking, and crafting intentional life. Next episode of our apartment series as we build out our 160-acre homestead. Today's video we are starting the electrical and some of the rough plumbing. If you would have saw by now that I tried to get some drone footage, and I apologize, okay? Just upfront apologize. It was not great. I decided to buy the cheap drone. Like, why not? Just get started. Just do it, right? Everybody says like you just need to get started. It is terrible, and I try to cut it so that you don't get sick, but no promises. But I include it because it's fun, right? It's like a different perspective. And also, while my brother and his family were in town, my brother and my dad installed the chimney for my fireplace. Which is awesome because, again, another step. It's just like all these steps that they just make my heart so happy. It's like one thing at a time, and it feels like we're like a little bit closer, right? And like so while they were here, they installed the solar panels, which has been a game changer. They actually have power, and I mean that's one of the things you need to live off grid is power, right? So it was like, again, a huge step forward into actually being able to be out there full time. This was a fantastic step for me. It felt like to me that we were really getting things going, like moving beyond 2x4s. And you'll see in this footage that my dad and I spent a lot of time talking about the layout and what I wanted in each space so that we could pick the best spots to put electrical boxes.
Okay, probably one under each window.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and mark those. You're gonna need one going into your pantry for a light switch.
Which is amazing because like so many times, like when I lived in apartments or old houses, or you know, I've lived so many places, you just have to make do with what you have, and it's not always pretty. You know, it's like I have a extension cord running from here and I don't have enough outlets in the kitchen, and I'm trying to do all of these things, and it can be really frustrating. So it was really awesome and just exciting to kind of talk through like what I wanted and what I need in my life and for the things that I do in my life on a daily basis, and build it out the way that I wanted to, right? Like from scratch. It's so cool.
What do you think this might be over here?
I'm thinking if I do a TV, it could go there.
The TV, okay.
Then I gotta put my hutch.
Are you thinking about not doing it?
I'm thinking about getting like a projector.
Okay. Put TV in your bedroom too, so well, of course if you have guests. If you have guests, a lot of times it's entertaining.
This is the only place, this one wall.
So should we put one up high then? Like if you mounted a TV, how would you do your furniture?
I don't. What I'm thinking is
Table here?
table here. I'm thinking couch like this.
Yeah.
To make this like a living space with TV there, couch there, and then dining.
Couch like facing that way.
Facing that
I think
way.
that makes sense. So let's put a TV up high. I'm thinking put an outlet up here. And I'll go 5 feet on that. That would hide it, right? What do you talk about, like?
What a lot of this footage is really just he and I discussing that and putting in the electrical boxes. And then actually while I was at work, unfortunately I don't have any footage of him actually running the wire, but he then ran the wire from like the circuit breaker through all of the electrical boxes.
Pull these out, reverse them, drill them into this house. There's a whole lot of them after this. So some guys will pull this later, while we're here. One here. Right? Right, exactly. 40 feet. And then you come in. A line on the front and a line on the side.
I think the two spaces that were the most fun for me were the kitchen and then my butler's pantry. Again, my butler's pantry is my favorite room in the apartment so far. I am the most excited about that space. Like, it's basically like a second kitchen, and it's gonna be like all of my apothecary dreams, I feel like. But also, it's really gonna function as like a second kitchen for me. And so I put extra outlets in that space so that I could have dehydrators going, or I could have crock pots going, and I can have my electric canner, you know, like all of these things going at the same time while still having like a coffee station that's just like set as a coffee station, because so many times like I just never have enough counter space ever for everything that I do. And the kitchen, dining, living room space is pretty small, and I do want it to still function though as like a living space and a dining room, because those are big parts of my life. So I didn't want my island to be like massive. I also just don't want to like have to like take things down and put things out, and like and having like, you know, ample counter space so that I can run all of my appliances and they all can be working for me while I'm doing all these other things. Especially when we get the gardens in and everything, there's going to be so many.
Refrigerator's here, right? Yeah.
So then I think that there's just be like a little counter space on each side.
Yeah, we're using this as a feature. So stove here.
If you've been around and you saw my tour before we got really into the apartment series, you would have saw that eventually we are going to have a scullery. I want to call it a scullery, but like we have been calling it the canning room, and so that's kind of just stuck, so we probably will just call it the canning room. But it will be a space completely dedicated to just processing food, whatever kind of form that is. And hopefully someday it will have a walk-in fridge, a cold room kind of situation. Eventually there will be a whole processing area, so I don't need to worry. I need to keep reminding myself that I don't need to worry so much about like having tons of space, because I am fortunate enough that I will also have that scullery. So I will be able to do a lot of the canning and processing down there. And so up here in the apartment will be more just day-to-day sort of things, right? But I really, because I get to do it from scratch, which is such a dream. Like I'm really trying, and this has been the hardest process for me. I'm really trying to think through all the things, because I am such a people pleaser, badly like want to be in there, that it's very easy for me to be like, oh, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. I don't want the guys to have to do that. We don't need to take the time. I don't need that chandelier. But instead, like really thinking about it and talking about it and taking the time up front to be like, no, I haven't found the chandelier yet. But my heart wants a chandelier because it would just be pretty and it would bring me so much joy every day and entertaining, and you know, like, so I want to have a dining room. I want to do that. That very much fills my soul and makes my heart happy. And so I'm all about following your joy and doing the things that make you feel better. And so like I also have to check myself very often. And I don't know, I just need to not settle and really do what I want to do up front. I tried to be like, oh, I don't need to do that. Like, oh, it'll be more work. Is that okay? Like, you know, like, is it gonna be too much for everybody? And no. Like, honestly, if we put in the option now, that would be easier for everyone in the long run. Because like, what if like a few years down the road, I found like the perfect chandelier and I'm like, oh, I want to put this, you know, above the pantry or like in the butler's pantry, or I want to put, this is a perfect spot over, you know, the dining area that isn't really a dining area now, but someday I hope it could be. I want to be able to have that option, right? Even though we might not have the pieces now, or even if it means running a little bit more. So that's where we're at. It was so much fun. I mean, I don't think that the content is that exciting, but it was really like the first step into like making it feel like it was real and really like making it feel like we were getting somewhere, which was awesome. So thank you so much for visiting the cottage. As always, I am so happy that you are here. If you have missed any of our previous episodes of building up the apartment on our 160-acre homestead, I will link those over here so you can be sure to catch up and you can follow along on the next episode. I am so grateful for all of you. I will talk to you guys soon. Cheers. So wrong for so, like I don't listen to it every single day. I'm not back on her love. Oh yeah, I wanted to say hey. Wanted this to be like we're friends and you just stop by my house to catch up and we're chatting over a glass of something. I don't know if we had like a community name, but like what the hell would you do that for? Wild Crab Cottage? That would never work. These birds are like going nuts. Anyway, okay. Look at Elvira, which I'm mad about. Yeah. You embrace that, right? We're embracing our villain era. I would love to be Elvira. Fuck. Badass. Anyway. Okay.